Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadhanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye. Om. Dear friends, we are reading the 27th shloka of second chapter, which is saying Jatasya hi dhruvo mrutyuhu dhruvam janma mrutasya cha. We were reading that. And I explained the first line. Tasmad apariharyerthe natvam shojitum arhasi. This is the third line, second line. Tasmad apariharyerthe. Apariharya. Pariharam is some sort of solution. Apariharyam is which is unavoidable, where there is no remedy for that, irremediable, where there is no solution to that. So that is what is apariharyam. Apariharyerthe natvam shojitum arhasi. Even when we know that something is very, very certain, even then we don't realize it. That is what in Yaksha Prashna, Dharmaraja also says. We know that there is a very interesting passage called Yaksha Prashna in Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, what happens? In one particular place, there is some lake, and in that lake, there is a Yaksha. There is one Yaksha who is guarding that particular lake. Yaksha in the form of a huge crane. And the Pandavas, they go there one by one to take some water, and they all fall down. And Dharmaraja again goes and then trying to find out where these people have gone. So that Yaksha says, don't touch the water, you will die. You answer my questions and take water. Okay, pose your questions. So there are a series of questions there. It is a very interesting passage which all of us have to read. So there, that Yaksha asks, what is the greatest wonder on earth? The greatest wonder on earth, Dharmaraja says, ahanyahani bhutani gachantiha yamalayam. Every day we see people are dying and dying and dying. Ahanyahani, day by day. Ahani, ahas means day. Ahanyahani bhutani is day and day by day you are seeing people dying. Gachantiha yamalayam. Say anye sthavaramicchanti. All other people think that I am not going to die. Sthavaramicchanti, I want to live forever and forever. So that is what anye sthavaramicchanti. Kim ascharya matah param. What great wonder is there other than this? So that is what he is saying here also. Apariharyerthe, which cannot be remedied. There is no answer for that. For that, why do you grieve? In fact, our people, Indian philosophy has understood death in a very, very proper way. We have understood death in a very, very mature way. In fact, the Yoga Shastra, if you see, Yoga Shastra actually says a human being has a particular number of Uchvasa and Ishvasa. They talk about, I don't remember the number, so many Uchvasa and Ishvasas, because they calculate how many Uchvasa and Ishvasas are there in a minute and how many are there in a day. So like that they calculate, and then they have said, okay, so many Uchvasa and Ishvasa, the cycles of respiration, that is inhalation and exhalation, it is called respiration. So many cycles of respiration, that is the lifetime of a human being. So they say like that, and it is philosophically accepted. So we have to have a philosophical understanding of death. So apariharyerthe natvam shojitum arhasi. Again Krishna is saying, don't cry. Then the next shloka also is like that. Avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. Avyaktadini bhutani. Bhutani means all the beings, not only human beings, but all the beings. Avyakta means from a loka drushti, from a common man's point of view, avyakta means we don't know where they have come from. Of course, we know that they are born to their parents, but where from? What was the earlier birth? We have no idea. Avyaktadini, vyakta madhyani, they are manifesting for some time. And avyakta nidhanani, after the disappearance, we do not know where it goes. Where is the next birth? So that is one thing. That is loka drushtya. Loka drushtya means from a common man's point of view. But from a philosophical point of view, if you want to see, avyakta is that expressive power which is there in that supreme consciousness. In that supreme consciousness, there is a manifesting power. And what is that power? We do not know. And from that power, all these things have come into existence. They are staying for a while. They are just appearing for a while and again disappearing. So that is the meaning here. Avyaktadini bhutani, vyakta madhyani. They are manifest for some time and again disappearing. Tatra ka avyakta nidhananyeva tatra ka paridevana. Where is the need for crying there? So similarly, there is another line in Ramayanam also. Rama turns philosophical at a particular time. When Bharata goes to the forest to persuade Rama to come back, then Rama gives a small lecture to him, a sort of philosophical talk, saying that all human relations are so transitory. Yatha kashtancha sameyatam maharnave. He says, like two pieces of log, they just come together and then they stay for some time and then float and then again get separated. Similarly, so are all the human relations. You just meet somebody and then, okay, oh, hi, and exchange of pleasantries. And after some time, okay, for some years it may be there. For some again, we just do not know, we just get separated and we do not know where the people are. So all human relations are so transitory. Then tatra ka paridevana. So he is giving a rather philosophical view. Then now again coming back to this Atma, he says, who Lord Krishna says in 29, shloka number 29, Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam, Ascharyavat vadati tasaiva chanyah, Ascharyavat chainam anyashrunoti, Shrutva vedana chaiva kaschit. This again is a very interesting shloka. Again, because Krishna has again come back to the nature of Atma. Atma again one or two shlokas. He is again talking about Atma in two shlokas. This shloka and the next shloka. That is, he says, Ashcharya Kaschit. Kaschit means somebody, some rare person. In Upanishads we get this word Kaschit quite often. The meaning of Kaschit is someone. Someone means not someone in tens or hundreds, someone in lakhs and lakhs. That is what they say. Someone in Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschidyatati Siddhaye. Thousands and thousands of people. One person tries to know what is reality. Otherwise, people are not bothered. We are happy. We are happy leading our daily lives. We are happy having our daily routine. So we are not very much keen on knowing who am I, what is this, etc., etc. Not many people are interested. Very, very rarely somebody is interested. And among those so many people who are interested, somebody realizes actually. So that is what he says. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. Somebody, some rare person, pashyati. Pashyati means he sees it, he realizes it, he knows it. Ascharyavat, like what? Like a very great wonder. Like this Atma realization is like a great wonder. That is what he says. Why is this wonder? This wonder is this is Atma is something. It is not something like heaven. We should know that there is a difference between what is called heaven and moksha. Swargam and moksham. These are the two words which we have to know at this stage. We know that there is something called heaven, which is told in all the religions. All religions say, okay, there is some heaven. You do some good work, you go to heaven. And you do this, you follow Lord's instructions, you are going to heaven. That is what every religion says. And that is the end. And there is nothing beyond that. Whereas our philosophy, Vedanta says, at the religion level, what all you are saying at the level of religion is only a lower level of understanding. The lower level of understanding for a common man, just to encourage him to do all good work, so that he doesn't do all wrong things, so that he is within the framework of dharma. But the higher reality is that there is only one supreme reality, which is that supreme, what is called Brahman, Brahma or whatever called Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And you are not different from that. And once you realize it, all these bondages are gone. A person can realize it, not merely intellectually. You have to become that. Become that means the ego has to be totally gone. Ego has to be totally neutralized. The self has to be, the mind has to be totally neutralized. In fact, there is on this neutralization of mind, there is a great book called Jivan Mukti Viveka by Vidyaranya Maharshi. Jivan Mukti Viveka by Vidyaranya Maharshi. There are two exclusive chapters in that book. Mano Nasha. Mano Nasha means eliminating the mind, and Vasanakshaya. What are all the impressions, all the samskaras which are there in the mind? How to cure them? How to wash them away? Not cure, wash them away. Mano Nasha and Vasanakshaya. So that's again that makes a very, very interesting reading. So long as the mind is there, this birth is going to happen again and again. So here, what is called moksha? Moksha is nothing but realizing your real nature, realizing that you are not different from that supreme reality. That is Ashcharya. Because all the while you are like that. It is not as though you are discovering something. And this is something which is told repeatedly in all our Vedic mantras. For example, we have got one daily ritual called Sandhya Vandanam. In the daily ritual called Sandhya Vandanam, all of us, most of the people who do Sandhya Vandana, they say one mantra, Brahmaivasan Brahmapyeti evam Veda. They say Brahmaivasan Brahmapyeti. Being a Brahma already, he realizes Brahma. So he is Brahma already, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know that he is Brahma. But later, maybe by good luck or something like that, he realizes slowly and slowly. That is what he says. That is what that mantra says. That is the reason why it is like Ashcharya. And Upanishads, they give another example. It seems one queen was wearing a diamond necklace or something like that. Okay, let us call it a necklace or something. And she forgot that it was there very much on her neck, because probably she was wearing so many garlands or so many necklaces, so many types of ornaments, and she was trying to locate everywhere. Swakantha dhruta maniharavat. That is the word. Swakantha dhruta maniharavat. That manihara is there in one's own kantha, and you are searching everywhere. And somebody points out it is there on your own neck. Then you realize and feel happy. So realizing Atma is like that. You are all the while you are that Atma, and you are not realizing that you are that. So that is the reason why Ascharyavat, you are looking at it as a wonder. Kaschidenam. Then Ascharyavad vadati tathaiva chanyah. And when he is communicating to the other man, again the other man also, he feels it is something which is ridiculous. For example, when I am saying all this, or rather when you are listening to Bhagavad Gita for the first time, at least some shlokas, they look rather improbable. Okay, this old man is saying something, let us see. So that is the general meaning. Then again, when you read Upanishads and then when you deliberate on that, there is what is called a three-tier process. That three-tier process is, first thing is called Shravanam. That is, we listen. We have to listen, not read. Our books do not say read. Shravanam. Patanam, they don't say Patanam, they say Shravanam. That is, you have to listen. That is, the shlokas have to be explained by a competent teacher. And then you have to listen again and again some more things. Not only this book, we have to listen to some other books like Upanishads, etc. Then you have to contemplate. The second step is contemplation, Mananam. Mananam means Yuktibhihi Anuchintanam Mananam. That is, you have to pose questions. It is not as though you are believing. You need not believe. You have to pose questions, and you have to get all your doubts have to be clarified in the process of debating. Debating with the teacher also. Debating with the teacher, debating internally. You are trying to internally debate. It may not lead anywhere. You have to debate with the teacher. You have to go and then ask the teacher, this is my doubt, what is this? Then again, whatever the teacher says, again you have to meditate on that. You have to think on that, dwell on that. And then once you realize at a theoretical level, then you try to live it. Like walk the talk, as we say. You have to live it. That is what is called the stage of Nididhyasanam. Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. So at these three levels only a person gets, or rather understands, this reality. So that is the reason why Ascharyavad vadati tathaiva chanyah. The person who tells, he is telling it like as a wonder. And the person who is listening to it, he is also listening to it as a wonder, because for him also it is a shock. When you say that you are Brahman, then people will say, you are laugh at it. They are not prepared, because like some poet, English poet said, there is one English poet named T.S. Eliot. He says, humankind cannot bear too much of reality. Too much of reality, if you say, people cannot bear. People can bear only some quantum of truth and some quantum of falsehood. So if you say that yes, there is a God here, there is a God, there is a heaven, there is something called hell, there are all these things, they look so nice, and you believe in that. So when too much of reality humankind cannot bear, so that is the reason why Ascharyavachena manya shrunoti. The listener also, there is the reason Kathopanishad also uses the same words, Ascharyo Vakta Kushala Anushishtaha, something like that. It says Ascharya. That means somebody who says even that, it is an Ascharya. Then Shrutvapyenam Vedana Chaiva Kaschit. Even after listening, many people do not understand. In fact, my teacher, my Vedanta teacher, his name is Pullela Sri, my first Vedanta teacher, one very great professor called Pullela Sri Ramachandrudu, he used to say one thing. Suppose you sit in a class, mathematics class. Mathematics class, okay, the teacher is saying something, and then the student, mathematics or science, let us say, teacher totally understands it, fully understands and then explains to the student, mathematics or science. Okay, fine, the student may understand or may not understand, but the teacher understands. You go to a class of literature, where somebody is explaining some poetry of Shakespeare, poetry of Kalidasa, etc., etc. Both are happy. The teacher is happy, the student is happy, there is so much of rasotpadana, and then you are very happy listening to that. So both are enjoying. And when you come to Vedanta, teacher is saying something, student also is listening something. The teacher also may not be understanding what he is saying. The student also may not be understanding. Sometimes the student may understand, we do not know. The teacher may not be understanding, but the student may understand. That is also possible. So like that, Vedanta is like that. He used to tell a joke. The teacher also may not understand, the student also may not understand. It is like that. Shrutva-pyenam vedana jaiva kaschit. So that is the reason why this Atma is something which is very, very inscrutable in nature, very difficult to realize in the sense we can understand it at a intellectual level, but knowing it, feeling it is something which is difficult. Feeling means you have to eliminate that mind slowly. Then the next shloka, 30th shloka, he is talking about Arjuna's dharma as a kshatriya. So in this 30th shloka, again he is talking about the nature of Atma. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shoshitumarhasi. Dehi, as I said, Dehi means the embodied self, the self or Atman which is illumining the body, that is what is called Dehi. Not something which is in the body, that is illumining the body. That is what we have to see. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam. Nityam is an adjective for avadhya. That is nityam avadhya. It is always avadhya. It cannot be affected. It cannot be attacked. It cannot be hit. Dehe sarvasya bharata. That means it is something which is beyond. Because the sunlight you cannot hit. Sunlight you can't beat. Sunlight is illumining all things. You can beat this object, you can break this table, you can break something else, but you cannot break the light. So it is like that. Dehi nityam avadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani. All the beings are like that only. All the beings, their bodies, their body-mind complex is something, body is something which is broken. But this Atma which is illumining all these things, it is something which is unaffected. Natvam shoshitum arhasi. Again and again and again Krishna is saying, don't cry, you should not cry, you should not cry, crying is not appropriate. Natvam shoshitum arhasi means crying is not appropriate for you. Then 31st shloka, he is coming to Arjuna's role in the society. What is Arjuna's role? He is a kshatriya, he is a warrior. Number one, he is a warrior. He has come prepared for the war, and such a person on the battlefield is crying. So that is what he is saying. What is your dharma as a kshatriya? Swadharmamapi javekshya na vikampitumar-hasi dharmyadhi yuddhat shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Kshatriya. You are a kshatriya. What is this kshatriya? Kshatriya means shatan trayate iti kshatriya. That is, or shatat trayate. You can also say that shatan trayate or shatat trayate. When you say shatan trayate, that means he comes to the rescue of people who are hurt or who are injured. Shatat trayate means even before these people are hurt, he protects them or prevents attack on them. He protects them and saves them. So that is another meaning. So you can take both ways, whatever it is. So that is shatat trayate. That is, a person's duty is to protect the people. Person's duty is to protect dharma. So that is what is the duty of a kshatriya. Swadharma mapicha, that is the swadharma. And when you use the word swadharma in Gita, this word swadharma comes many times. What is the need? What is the meaning of swadharma? And what is the meaning of dharma and swadharma? Dharma is something which is a universally valid thing. I told you, dharma means dharanat dharma uchyate. Dharana means that which holds the society from disintegrating is what is called dharma. There is another bigger definition for dharma, I think, which I should explain tomorrow, because that is a big shloka from Mahabharata. That shloka, it talks about dharma is something which one has to accept right from his conscience. So that is what it says. Swadharma is something which is unique to a particular class of people is what is called Swadharma. Dharma is something which is applicable to all the people. So we will continue tomorrow. Harihi Om Tat Sat.